What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the first ever episode of Across Country. I'm Anderson Daniels here live in Austin, Texas, and Mr. Corey Wise is with me live from Nashville, Tennessee. As you can see, we've got the country covered both figuratively and literally. Corey and I are good songwriting buddies and good friends. We have a lot of conversations during our co-writes about country music in general, so we decided let's record these conversations. Let's put them out. We appreciate you for being here for episode 1.
Uno.
Corey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's a nice bright morning. I have my shades on, but I took them off because they kind of look ridiculous. But
Weather's good there?
Weather is amazing. It is great. So it's good to be inside.
So episode 2, we're going to see you from the patio, huh?
No.
Alrighty, well, for today's episode, we're going to kick off and we are going to do a kind of, what would you say this is like, a greatest hits record that we're picking from a certain artist, but we're just building out an album from a certain artist's released albums. We're picking one song off of each album they've released, and we're going to build our favorite, I guess, personal album from this artist. And this artist today is none other than the Chief, Mr. Eric Church.
I'm a desperate man.
There you go. A big influence, I think, for both of us, especially in the early days of making music, wanting to get into music. At least for me. Would you say the same?
Oh, big time. I think anybody in our generation coming up as artists or writers or anything like that, Eric Church was definitely a big one for most. So when did he start? Like 2000? When was his? Like 2005? He was like in that era, right?
I want to say his first record was probably like, can I put a guess out here? I'm going to say 2008.
Okay. I have it. I can scroll up. I didn't see it, but I'm going to guess 2007 probably. Let's see what we got. 2006.
Ooh.
God, I was going to go
than we were
lower,
thinking.
but I was like, I don't know if it was around it was around the same era as Jay Cohen, Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, those guys. But
Yeah, they're all kind of in that class together, right?
right. But I think
2008.
I think 2005 was most of their first records, if I have to say.
All right, so we have what's the first one? Sinners Like Me is the first record?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I was thinking it was that Carolina record, but...
Wait. Yeah, Sinners was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina was second.
Yeah. Was that 2000? What year was... Not to get carried away on the year, but...
2009.
Okay, I was still wrong. Ooh, I'm wrong all the time.
All right.
Let's see what our picks are from here. Scroll up just a touch so I can see that first one. What was the first track?
Before
Before
she
she does. So the singles off this one were obviously, I think Sinners Like Me was his first big hit, right?
Well, what about Guys Like Me, though?
Guys Like Me. How About You? I remember being kind of like a radio push. These Boots is a great guy. These are good songs.
Oh, yeah. These first two records are the best records. Hands down. So I guess, should we pick... I say we pick 2 songs from each record. Up to Mr. Misunderstood record.
Okay. I like that because that's kind of... I prefer kind of this older stuff, I think.
Those are the
Not that I don't
golden
like
years.
the newer stuff, but yeah, these ones are a little bit more sentimental to me, I think, just because of the time frame of everything. I'm going to take Lightning right away.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite Eric Church songs of all time.
All right. What's your second one?
Well, you pick, so I know where my head's at.
On this one, I'm gonna have to say, God, God, What I Almost Was so good.
I know.
Oh, there's 12. Oh, Living Part of Life. Two Pink Lines, dude. I think that's mine.
Yep. Okay. I was gonna go with that for my second, but I think I'm gonna have to save. I'm gonna have to carry a few of these other songs with me since you're carrying that one with you.
I mean, you can pick the same one.
I know, but I just want to respect Eric Church here. I Pledge Allegiance to the Hag's a good one.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take.
Too long.
I'm gonna take Sinners Like Me.
Sinners. All right. Yeah, that's that is
That's your
definitely
classic
one of my
beginner
top
Eric
5
Church.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Sinners too, though.
Oh, you're leaving off some good ones from your record, man.
I know, but I mean, Sinners.
So am I.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, we can only pick 2. All right.
Two Pink Lines was a good pick. I love that song.
Yeah. Apparently, you don't like it enough to make the ultimate Eric Church record.
Well, since you picked it, I wanted to you know.
This is our first time, folks. We're working out segments.
Moving on.
All right.
Moving on to the
Carolina
record.
Okay, I just want to throw this out there real quick. I just looked it up. Eric Church's first single was "How About You."
Okay, I knew that one was pushed. And you heard me say that, right? You were listening to me when I said "How About You" was like radio push for a little while.
Yeah, but you said something else for the very first one.
Sinners
right?
Like Me, I thought was his first. Yeah,
but
or at least that was his. I think that had more success.
Right. There's a difference between being like the first song and then the one that does anything.
Yes.
So okay, that was just a little tidbit that I looked up there. All right.
I like it. Thanks for keeping us honest. Here we go. We're on the Carolina record now. We're each taking 2 songs from the Carolina record to build our ultimate Eric Church album.
Yeah.
You gonna go first, or you want me to?
Go ahead if you know.
I'm gonna take the title track, Carolina. That was one of the first songs that I played. Playing out at like open mic nights and stuff like that. I remember sitting around bonfires with all my friends after just learning how to play and sing the guitar. And that one,
you would play that one?
I would still play to this day. Yeah, I would play
back
it all
then?
the time. Yeah, even
did
my
anybody
buddies,
even know what it was?
Yeah, because we were all like, all my friends were Eric Church like mega fans.
Oh, okay,
so
that's
like
sick.
they'd be like, even still to this day, if we're sitting around and I'm like, I don't know what to play, they're like, play Carolina, because it was just such a staple for us back then.
Right. It's so funny how some of those like deep tracks can be the best tracks. Yeah.
I know. So you know you got good friends too when they know good music, huh?
Yeah, that's one. I always said that. I was talking to my dad, and he was like, "It's so cool that you guys sit around a campfire, and all of you know how to play guitar and sing, or somewhat at least, and enjoy music that much. Like if you were to be back home and sitting around with all your buddies, typically it's just gonna be you with the guitar and nobody else.
One person. Yeah.
So like that's what's really cool about like living in a music town. It's like most of your friends all just do the same thing.
Well, and I think like that, sitting around a fire, like it's old as the Western expansion America days, right? Cowboys just sitting around like picking guitar and stuff like that. But that's like some of the most purest form of like music appreciation. You're not doing it for anything but like a love of the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, exactly. For me, after doing this for a number of years, it's kind of like, well, I'm off today, I'll go see some friends that aren't in music, and they'll be like, oh, play us something, or are you gonna sing? Like even I was just at a wedding this weekend, and everyone's like, are you gonna sing? It's like, wow, this is kind of like my time to just be a normal person,
right?
But like being around there and like actually wanting to do it and wanting people to like hear you, like that's in its rawest form, and I love that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You hear that a lot with comics too. It's like, oh, like what do you do? And it's like, oh, I'm like a comedian, and then it's like, oh well, tell me a joke, you know.
Tell me a joke.
And it's just like when you're talking to somebody new and they're like oh, you sing, you play music, like sing something.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
sing
not just gonna
something right now.
sing something a cappella.
Johnny on the spot.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very awkward. So listeners, just don't do that.
Just don't do that. Respect the game. Look up our music on Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah.
You can find it.
All right, my third pick is Where She Told Me to Go.
I was gonna.
Such a banger, dude.
That is
so good. She told me to go.
Play it.
Damn.
Yep.
Never realized how much she brought to the table till I went to set my cup of coffee where the table used to be.
Fucking unreal, dude. That just
All right,
that line is so good.
Change my first one to that, or sorry, my second one. I don't want Sinners Like Me anymore. I want Can't Take It With You.
Hey, me too though. Can't Take It With You.
Can't take it with you when you go. Never realized how
God,
much
so
you
good.
brought to the table.
Okay, so we're back on Carolina.
Okay, so
what's
we
your
need one
pick?
more song.
Yeah, it's your pick.
Those I've Loved is a great one. Love Your Love the Most was a mega hit. I love mustard on my fries. People loved singing that
Dude,
back in the day. Man.
Honestly, after that lyric, when I was super young, obviously I was a freshman in high school, I would eat mustard with my fries because of it. And it's so stupid, but like
definitely the first time I actually put mustard on my fries was after
so
that. I was like, I wonder, is he holding out some kind of secret on us here or what?
He's got a mustard sponsorship.
I'm gonna take It Ain't Killed Me Yet.
Okay. Ain't Kill Me Yet. Yeah, that's such a great first song to an album.
Mm-hmm.
I remember popping
I
this.
love sonically. I like that side of Eric Church too. He's got all of these, especially in the early days. He had so many of those kind of sentimental songs, Love Your Love the Most and Sinners Like Me and Guys Like Me and all that stuff. But when he gets that Boot Left to Fill, Smoke a Little Smoke, Ain't Kill Me Yet. I love those type of songs.
I mean, his heart, I think, is in rock music, right? So this is the beginning of the country rock for, I think he kind of had a little bit to do with it.
Well, I mean, how about you? That's more of a rockin' tune too, for being his first single, like we talked about, and it's just kind of that's who he is, and the other stuff kind of helped get some commercial success. And now, obviously today you're seeing him, put out a lot more kind of indie rock stuff than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What's your number 2 from this Carolina record?
God, well, if we're making a record here, I can't have them all be. I mean, I guess if it's a personal record, I guess it can be. So,
it can be, but you also
Are we trying to sell this record?
Let's just say this was the only Eric Church you get to listen to for the rest of your life.
Oh, okay.
That's a heavy toll, but
yeah,
it might make for the best.
Baby, you make it look so easy. Those I love, though.
Those I've loved along the way. You can play them if you want.
You're my compass when I'm lost, anchor when I get tossed. It's crazy, this intro.
just a tad.
Okay, dude, this is one of my favorites. It's got to be You Make It Look So Easy.
That's a good one. I also appreciate seeing the streams for the whole album on here. Like different song, you can see which different songs like really took off.
Yeah, I know. And what's funny is that most of the songs that I really enjoy have like a very low stream count. Like they're all deep
Same
cuts,
here.
you know.
Yep.
But also we've heard, Smoke a Little Smoke a bajillion times.
That's why.
throughout
Yeah,
our
that's
life.
why I couldn't take it because I was like, I've heard that too many times, dude. The Caldwell EP
Dude, this is slept
forgotten
on.
about.
This
I'm
album's
taking,
slept on.
I'm taking a song off of here.
Yeah, let's do one song.
Are you gonna take Chevy Van?
No. Chevy Van's a cover.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take His Kind of Money.
Hey, me too. All right, we're both taking that
to
one.
me seemed like I remember hearing that song like a couple years later and being like, wasn't that a bigger hit than it was?
I don't think so.
Maybe it was just the Eric Church fans really knew it, but
I don't think any of these
Yeah.
were, right?
no, not. I mean, Chevy Van kind of had a run of its own just with his cover of that, and I think like videos of him playing it and stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, and you can see on the stream numbers. I mean, it's the most notable from that, but not a lot of people even know about that Caldwell EP.
Right. Yeah, no, do you know is Caldwell County, is that in Kentucky? Because I pass a Caldwell County when I go up north.
I believe it's
Probably Carolina.
North Carolina, where he's from. Yeah.
That would make the most
And
sense.
Okay, now we're moving into what I
This
would say is
Chief.
probably the golden record from him. This was like the mega superstar rocket that sent him into the stratosphere. Was this record? Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Drink
I
in My
mean-
Hand was one of the biggest hits of that time.
Like Jesus does. I mean,
Oh, and
every
Springsteen,
single,
dude.
Yeah,
Spring-
every single one of these songs is Springsteen. I mean, look at the streams on that, dude. 548 million.
And what's wild about that is that that's still a song that I might pick for this mega record because it's still
It's
one
got
of the best songs.
It's still got so much nostalgia for me. I mean, it's just like
That
every time I hear it, it's just like that's what it was. One of those songs that helped really like draw me really deep into country music, just because it was like such a mega hit and a good song.
the
And it was
imagery.
like, okay, and it wasn't the imagery, the songwriting, and the fact that like people outside of country music really loved it too, kind of like gave me the thought that like, okay, like you can take country music and put it out here into the stratosphere, and like people can attach to it even if maybe they're not the biggest country music fan. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's literally called Springsteen. You know, any old rock head is going to be like, "Oh, that's Springsteen. I wonder what that's all about." And like anybody can relate to it. Doesn't matter what genre you're into. It paints like such a wild picture of growing up. It's, it's like a painting.
And the music
It's more of
video
a
like
mural.
relays it right with it too. Yeah. I think this was like one of the first songs that I noticed too, that like when it came out, it was from a new artist, but it was like all of our parents and like parents' friends could relate to it the same way we could because they lived the Springsteen era.
Right.
And that was so cool to me. Like that I just saw them singing along every word just like we were, when we heard it for the first time or when it was on the radio or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to
Boy, dude, Jesus Christ, this one's tough.
I know. I'm gonna put Springsteen down on mine. That's gonna be one of them for sure. It's just a timeless song.
I'm gonna take Over When It's Over.
Ooh, Ain't It Baby, Ain't It?
I love that song. Like a last long trip from Marlboro Line.
So good. We need a country music Jesus to come. Burn. So good. Homeboy, dude.
Some long-haired hippie from here singing from the book of Johnny Cash.
Man, it's crazy. I think my favorites are all singles.
Half this record was singles.
Yeah, that's true.
Creepin', I remember that one.
Yeah, creeping.
Drinking My Hand, obviously. Like Jesus Does. Homeboy. Springsteen.
She Got a Rock.
I'm getting stoned. Damn.
All right, for my second one, Homeboy has a special place in my heart. It was like when I got my cover band started, back in 2015, I think, was when I got the band, my first ever band. We did that one, and that one, I remember I wasn't able, I wasn't good at lead guitar, but I did the riff on like acoustic, and it just like felt so cool, you know. And then it was one of my dad's favorite songs too. And I remember when we cut it from the list, my dad was like, "What the hell are you doing? Like cutting Homeboy?" You know. I'm like, that song ran its course, you know.
It never dies. Yeah, Homeboy is an honorable mention for me, but I think I have to take Springsteen like you did. It's just like that's Eric Church's song, you know what I mean? Like that's his biggest hit, his biggest that is Eric Church.
Yeah, I agree. I can't. It's really hard for me to pick right now. But honestly, Like Jesus Does, dude. That song is so sick.
Are you taking 3?
No, that was only 2. Springsteen and Like Jesus Does.
Okay. I thought you were saying you were going to take Homeboy. That's an honorable mention for me. That one hits a lot too.
Yeah, it's so tough, dude. Homeboy, there's so many I could pick from that, but let's move on so I don't second guess myself. All right, another, his first live record.
When we brought this up, we were going over like the recent stuff he's put. It seems like the guy has recorded every single live concert and put it out on a record.
But the guy puts on a great show, so why not? Why not just throw him out there? Make a little side cast for the
100%.
label, you know.
All right, we're moving on to the Outsiders album. I remember when this thing was released, it was like any album that's like a follow-up to your big one. I think Jason Aldean was kind of the same way with, he had the My Kind of Party album and then the Night Train album. I think at first you're a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed, but you're just kind of like, it's such a hard thing to live up to. But now, like, looking back, I'm just like, man, another great record. Like, I know every song on here, and just like, it's going to be tough to pick.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of pressure releasing this album, like you said, after the big hit, but this is another one. It was just like banger record. Just coming in a little more heavy on these songs, I feel like.
Yep. And that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to take That's Damn Rock and Roll for my number 1. I love that song. And there's a video of him playing it with Haley Storm at I think it's like the CMT Awards or something like that, but they just went off. It was awesome.
I feel like I remember this.
Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah.
They really, it's like one of the first songs I think you can really feel his emotion and like when he does the shoulder shrugs and
the fist.
It's a rock. Yep.
Okay. Dude, Man Who's Gonna Die Young. That's one of my favorites, and I'm probably gonna listen to that right after we get done with this podcast because it's been a minute, and I forgot about that song, and it's just so good. Like,
Never thought I'd outlive Hank Jesus.
But he has like always kind of wrote like most of his stuff, right?
I think almost everything he's at least got a piece of.
Yeah, you're probably right. So hard to tell nowadays. Casey Beathard and Eric Church can write a song together. I'll tell you that much.
Like a wrecking ball. I think my second one, I just love the melody of this one. It's gonna be "Give Me Back My Hometown." That was kind of like his lead-in. I remember seeing Roller Coaster Ride like start to get on radio, and then I think they pulled it and they replaced it with "Give Me Back My Hometown." And I think there's probably better songs on this record. That one just like always hits with me of like, give me back my hometown, 'cause it's my hometown. I just love the melody on that song.
Oh, the production on it is through the roof. It's so good.
And I think vocally too, kind of like it's when you're talking about like singers, like you have your vocalists and then you have people that can do cool stuff like with their thing. And I think that's one song that I think Eric Church like can do something really cool with his own like voice. I think he's much more a songwriter and performer than he is a vocalist. But like on that one, I think you get a taste of like just differentiating from a Talladega or a Cold One or something like that too.
Right. Yeah. It's a perfect in between. I just wanted to play this. Oh yeah. Funky.
It's some deadly stuff I can't get enough. Girl, your love's a drug I can't.
Yeah, dude, that's good stuff too.
And a roll record.
Dude, honestly, I'm gonna have to say I'm not trying to cop out, but I think I really do think that Hometown and Man Who Is Gonna Die Young were the best two on this record.
I'll give an honorable mention to Talladega. I mean, that was another one where it was like all your friends knew, like they were obsessed with that one, and I think it's such a nostalgic song. But I have never been the kind of guy to like jump on what everybody else is jumping on just for the sake of it. So that's why I like to kind of give recognition to some of these other songs that maybe didn't have the mega popularity that that one did. Still an amazing song, but I just wanted to like give it a Devil Devil 2 is like up there for me too on this record. I mean, Devil.
It's like an interlude song. Honestly, I think when I bought this record and put it in my CD player in my car, I'm pretty sure this is one of the songs that I would skip over.
Well, it's like 4 minutes until you get to the actual song,
right?
Which I understand, like what you're doing there from an album perspective, but yeah, I always hate when that happens and like the song's so good, but you don't like you have to take an extra step to get there.
I'm such a lyric guy too, and I'm like, God, when are these lyrics gonna come in? And like, it's so hard to like. You couldn't fast forward really on a CD player in your car. It wasn't like touchscreen or anything. You go to the next song. But if you could fast forward, you couldn't see where you were. It's just like, I don't know. I had a little shitty Nissan Altima at the time. All right.
Beat up box. All right. What's the next record? Outsiders in 2014. I remember Mr. Misunderstood.
Yeah, I think this is the last one.
Mr. Misunderstood. I remember he announced this at, I think it was the CMA Awards. Because he had released Mr. Misunderstood, and then he played it at like the CMA Awards like a week later, and then it's like, hey, the record's coming out in 2 days or something like that.
During CMA Fest?
CMA Awards, like in November.
Yeah, yeah.
On like a Wednesday night, I think they played it, and then I think the next, on the Friday, like a couple days later, came out.
I could only kill a word. Oh, okay. All right, I think I got my first one. And my first one's going to be Mixed Drinks, About Feelings.
Good tune.
I remember people were like, That's like that's not that original, not very original. Like everybody knows that saying. Like mixed drinks about feelings.
Well, it's like it's a touch of like Nashville songwriting, right? With like kind of the double entendre, the play on words. Um,
But you know how people like to like nitpick, like people that aren't
Yep.
in the industry and stuff too. They're just like, wow, that's not very like original. Like that's like a thing that people say all the time, and like I don't know, but I think it's great. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of things in songwriting that people talk about, and like that's what relates it.
I'm gonna go with. There's like 3 on here that I really want to keep with. But I'm gonna go Knives of New Orleans right away.
Wow. Okay. Deep cut.
Yeah, I love that one. Knives of New Orleans.
It's crazy to see the progression when you actually go through each album and each song to like it is such a smooth transition from very country like lyrically and I guess production wise too, but that transition is so smooth into rock and roll.
Well, and that's what you want to see from an artist too as they grow older. So what first album was 2006. He was probably like what 26, 27 or something. And now what year is Mr. Misunderstood? 2015 or something like that.
15, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I mean that's 10 years, right? You go from being a 25-year-old to a 35-year-old. You got
Right.
wife, kids, all that stuff. You want to see, you don't want to hear the same old thing over 10 years, and that's what I really do respect about Eric Church. And I mean, you got to know that, right? Like you might not have as big of a fan, and he has as big of a fan base as he'll ever, that's always going to carry with him. But it's like you might not have the commercial success that you would if you did the same, thing that got you to the dance in the first place that blew you up. But like I really respect the willingness to like creatively develop as you're aging and not just doing the same repeat business that you've always done. So
Right.
that's something that I do love about his records.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. There's nothing better than watching an artist progress into like what they really, really, truly love, because you can just tell. I mean, Eric Church has always said he's a rocker, but like I feel like you gotta play the game a little bit before you can change to what you want to do at heart. But okay, for my second one on this one, I'm gonna have to straight up Mr. Misunderstood.
Okay. I'm glad you took that one because I was bouncing back and forth between 2. First time I met Alabama Hannah Wolfskin ass. I'm gonna go with Mistress Named Music.
Ooh,
I think
God,
it's
that's a good
just a
one.
song that like speaks to how I've always felt about music,
Yep.
Married to a Dream with a Mistress Named Music. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of what I've dedicated my life to, and that's what I get from that song. So
Yeah, Stapleton has something like that too, doesn't he? He has a song that's similar where he's talking about how how like music is like taking his life. Shoot.
oh yeah, it's like the devil.
Oh yeah, The Devil Named Music.
Yeah.
So the devil named music has taken my life.
My life.
So good. All right, I think we got our albums here.
What else? Can you just scroll down? What has he? I mean, obviously he's come out with. I know the triple records and all that stuff, but what was after Mr. Misunderstood? Was that Desperate Man, or was there something
I think it may have
between
been
those?
Desperate Man. Yeah,
I'm a desperate man.
yeah, 2018. So it would have been
18.
3 years later. Yeah, because he had this huge 61 days in church or whatever. Those are like all his songs live, basically. Dude, every arena. All right, let's see.
There it is.
Yeah, On the Rocks. I remember when this came out because this is his second live record. My buddy Taylor Bainham got this on vinyl because he's like a huge Eric Church fan, and that was like the first time I remember hearing it and just being like, so like you can just feel the energy, and it's at Red Rocks, which is so sick.
I remember, especially the Hallelujah cover. I remember that was like such a good tune.
Yeah.
Such a good version of that song, I should say. If you go up to the Desperate Man record,
Here we go.
I think some of it is one of the best. I mean, if that one came out like on his first, I think that would have been, and obviously it was a big hit, but like, I think that's such a well-written song.
Which one?
Some of it.
Oh, some of it, yeah. Yeah, some of it.
That'd
That'd be up there for me for this record.
I'd say I would take one of those. I'd take that one, and then I think "Hell of a View" on his that was one of the.
Hell of a View was on.
It's on the blue.
It's a hell of a view. Was it on Heart?
Oh yeah, the Heart on Soul and Heart on Fire. Oh, what a good song too.
Yeah, it must have been on Soul. Yeah,
Yep,
Soul.
there it is.
Yeah, these records, it was like a kind of a cool idea, but they just didn't do as well as they could have done. I feel like if they weren't
it was right during that COVID. Was it that COVID?
Oh, that's
year?
right. Yeah.
And he had said the way they put these records together was they all stashed away, him and his band stashed away in a studio in North Carolina when they were like quarantining, and they would write and record one song a day for all, what is there, like 30 some songs on those two records.
Yeah.
So I mean, picking and choosing, I love that. And you're just like, hey, people want music, let me get it to them.
Right. And at the same time, we didn't know if it was going to go back to normal, so it's like trying anything different and new was a really good idea for any artist, and some of them didn't work out, some did.
Yeah, and for some of those songs, I think "Hell of a View" and "Heart on Fire" are like such good tunes. I think for those to come out of something like that, being able to write that, record it, and do all the production right in one day, or a span of whatever it was, 3 weeks, to put out these records that are still really solid. I mean, that's impressive.
Oh yeah, it's very impressive.
You want to do a breakdown?
Here's our breakdown. All right. Anderson's album looks like Lightning, Can't Take It With You, Carolina, Ain't Killed You Yet, His Kind of Money, Over When It's Over, Springsteen, Damn Rock and Roll, Give Me Back My Hometown, Knives of New Orleans, Mistress Named Music. That's pretty solid.
I think I would have maybe added one more hit to that list. I feel like I went all deep cuts on that, and maybe I would have thrown Talladega in there.
Yeah, you talked about it.
Yeah. Some honorable mentions. What's your album sound like, look like, feel like?
Feels like it feels like nostalgia. 2 Pink Lines, Sinners, She Told Me to Go, Where She Told Me to Go, You Make It Look So Easy, His Kind of Money, Springsteen, Like Jesus Does, A Man Who's Gonna Die Young, Give Me Back My Hometown, Mixed Drinks About Feelings, and Mr. Misunderstood.
So yeah, you got a few more, I think, singles on there, or hits on there.
Yeah, I just have I have Sinners, Springsteen, Like Jesus Does, Give Me Back My Hometown. Yeah, I got like 4 hits on there.
She loves me like Jesus does. I had to learn that one for a wedding. I used to play that out a decent amount. But then,
Yeah, I always did too.
Yeah, you get those wedding songs, first dance songs.
But yeah, all in all,
What would you title those records?
oh god,
R2 records.
Man, that's
Standing a long line.
a solid fucking record. it's hard because it's not like a group of work that was made out to be a record.
Then you got to sum up. I don't even realize I'm wearing my Chief Records shirt today, so
Nice.
that works. I mean, Chief is such a good album name for that record. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I think of Eric Church, especially the old Eric Church, the heyday Eric Church.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would maybe just title it Mr. Misunderstood, even though that's already an album name.
It's a great title. It's a great title. It's almost like picking the perfect set list for your own concert, right? Like, we're making an album, but like if I were to see him and there's specific songs that I want to hear him play, like that, those would definitely be up there.
You have a title for yours?
Read them to me again.
You got Lightning, Can't Take It With You, Carolina, Ain't Killed Me Yet, His Kind of Money, Over When It's Over, Springsteen, Damn Rock and Roll, Give Me Back My Hometown, Knives in New Orleans, Mistress Named Music.
That last one threw me for a loop. I would say, like, if this is a retirement greatest hits, it's got to be Over When It's Over. Like, just
that would be sweet. Like, for like a just greatest hits record, like towards the end of somebody's career, or his career, I guess.
Retirement album.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, or I'd call it Shades or something like that. It's just what I think of when I think of Eric Church. We appreciate you for tuning in to episode uno. We'll be back next week with another one. If you have comments on what we should do on these segments, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
I know Corey and I have brainstormed some stuff, but we would always love to hear you guys' opinion on what you want to hear us talk about. More about our own music, more about, specific artists,
writing,
kind of the music process. Yeah, all of that stuff too. Industry stuff, touring, whatever it is. We're happy to discuss on the Across Country platform.
Yeah. And I'll also put our socials and websites and all that good stuff down below in the description. And like Anderson said, if you have any ideas or anything, this is the first episode, so we're just kind of getting things rolling here, trying to get a groove. So if you have any ideas, just let us know.
We'll probably have some guests on at some point too. So if there's anybody specific that you want to hear, Corey and I are very well connected across country music. So, I mean, unfortunately, Eric Church was busy today, but otherwise he would have been here. But we will have some guests on, some friends of ours, some writer friends, maybe some industry folks on as well to help explain that side of the biz as well, because it's across country. We're going across the country music platform with this podcast. So we appreciate you guys for listening in, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you guys.